by Fuzion.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to DPMF Live. Now meet our hosts.
Now, are you ready?
Good evening. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for DPMF Live. And this Sunday, we are doing a Bmeta Yachts interview. This is a high-quality yachts on the Metaverse. As ever, I've got my panel, me, Crypto Palace. We have Daniel, we have Live Free, and we have Wesley, bringing you the latest insights onto the XRPL. If you like this space, please share, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please write a comment if you want to join in the space. Please put your hands up if you're brave enough to come up and face the mighty four. And I'd just like to say a big fat thank you to Miss Raylene, who's been helping behind the scenes recently. You probably noticed a really swazzy, sophisticated YouTube channel with some fat cigars, now the main theme. And all of our videos all of our YouTube clips will actually be on this YouTube channel. Now, I promise that is going to happen. Dan, fill us in with the markets.
Okay, ranked at number 1, Bitcoin, $94,608, down 3% on the 7-day. Ranked at number 2, Ethereum, $3,278, down just under 10% on the 7-day. Ranked at number 3, we've got our XRP sitting at $2.54, which is up 6.71% on the 7-day. Ranked at number 4 is Tether. Ranked at number 5 is BNB, sitting at $695, hardly moved over the 7 days. Solana is ranked at number 6 with $188, down 11.2% on the 7-day. Dogecoin is ranked at number 7, 33 cents, down 11% on the 7-day. USDC has dropped some ranks down to rank number 8, which is, well, I was going to say the price then, but we all know it's USDC. Ranked at number 9 is Cardano, sitting at 98 cents, just under the dollar, which is also down just under 10%. And then ranked at number 10 is Tron, which has come up a few ranks over the past few weeks, which is sitting at 23 cents, but down 10% on the 7-day. It did replace Toncoin. So Toncoin and Stellar are ranked 13 and 14. Toncoin, has dropped quite a bit actually over the past few days.
So what about the main two projects in the whole world, XDX and XNAO, Dan?
Oh, do you know what? I keep forgetting to pull up that chart. I think XDX is. I haven't got the stable chart. I think XDX is sitting at 0.0004 against XRP. Don't know, ranked somewhere between 30 and 40 on the XRPL.
Well,
I don't know where Fuzion is though. I don't know where XIO is. If someone knows,
it's still a work in progress. It's growing nicely. Don't you worry. Right, Bmeta Yachts. If you'd like to open up your mic, introduce yourself. Welcome to the space.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. This is Chef Oceans, co-founder of Bmeta Yachts.
So, Chef Oceans, nice to meet you, my friend. Thanks for coming on tonight. We're very intrigued, actually. Our last space, I'm not sure if you listened to it, was all about Metaverse stuff. So this could be quite interesting. I know Dan's got some interesting points that he wants to bring up. So first and foremost, before we dive in, did you want to just give us a brief outlay of your background and history?
Yeah, sure. So pretty much got into crypto when it was around 2018, and we're just started in a bear market. So it was pretty rough times. Got into Bitcoin, XRP, and all that good stuff. XRP then had their lawsuit that happened and kind of had me get out of that project for a while, and is where I found Ethereum and smart contracts, and just started working with devs and different projects. found the metaverse, fell in love with the metaverse over on the Ethereum side of things, and after that, just got involved, started managing communities, and became an ally of Wilder World. So made a lot of really good connections over there, and that's where I met my business partner. And we pretty much decided that we wanted to do something with yachts. And funny enough, one of his someone he was doing business with, Ivan Erdevecki, was a naval yacht designer, and he didn't know anything about crypto. We all kind of had a meeting, and he just loved the idea. And he's a grown man, but he just loved the idea of being able to create like futuristic looking yachts and stuff. So he pretty much gave us a lot of his CAD designs, and we got those CAD designs and we turned them into 3D assets using Unreal Engine. And we started the collection, and here we are today.
Awesome. So are you based in America, or that's a bit of an American accent?
Yes, I'm based out of the United States in Florida. My business partner was out of Texas, and Ivan is up in Vancouver.
We've got another Texas amongst us. I'm sure he'll introduce himself in a minute. But yeah, so you're running on the Ethereum chain, are you?
No, we have several collections. We started off last year in the middle of the bear market, and we were kind of trying to see where things would fit, and we had just gotten into ordinals. Ordinals had just became a thing, and we said, wow, how cool, if we can get some of these yachts up into ordinals. So we ended up creating one within the first 1 million inscriptions, which is the Meta Yacht Nakamoto. It's an all gold yacht. And we thought, we have to put the Bitcoin color on the yacht, and just create one and just have it on there to see what happens, right? So we got that one in there. We got another one in there, a Pepe yacht as well, and in the ordinals inscriptions. But it was just very expensive. And during that time of ordinals, in the early days, the gas fees, or the V bytes, were just, the sats per V byte were just super high. So it just wasn't financially feasible for us to continue to create on ordinal.
I heard it was so astronomical on the ordinals, and that's part of the reason why it failed. I feel they just, it was supposed to be an alternative to minting on the Ethereum network, yet the gas fees were bloody higher, which never made sense to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just a free for all. That in the beginning, everybody was just jumping in and just creating all kinds of collections and just running those fees up super high. And I'm talking about an average day was like maybe 50 to 100 V bytes, where like today it's probably at 3 to 5 V bytes. So right now it's a little more feasible, but even then it's still very expensive. And also NFTs really weren't really hyped up at the time. Everything was kind of just like free mints. Everybody just wanted to do free mints. It wasn't like 2-3 years ago where people were paying 50, $100 just to mint a collection. So it was just wasn't financially feasible. So we hooked up with this dev Jeff over at BRC 420s, and he was also creating this these 3D assets that are downloadable over on it was also like the metaverse that he was trying to build over there. And he eventually changed his name to Merlin, Wizard Merlin or something, and he kind of went into a different direction to go integrate Ethereum and Bitcoin. So he kind of just abandoned that collection, but we ended up doing 3 yachts over on that metaverse, which it still works. Like you can download the GOB files, and you can place your yachts pretty much, and play around with them in Blender or in Unreal. You could also drop them into other metaverses that are being built on Bitcoin right now, like Bitmaps and the Natrix. Also, Bitmap Emporium has their metaverse that they're building right now. So you can't download these assets and integrate them into those worlds. And we're also upgrading, the files as well. So as our yachts get better and they get more interiors and they get more just better designs and whatnot, you can also download the updated files as well. But yeah, it's been kind of a roller coaster for us because that's pretty much two collections that we have on Bitcoin. They're not really collections; they're just a couple ordinals that we inscripted on one, and then I would say the BRC 420 is a collection of three different yacht models. And then really what we wanted with these yachts is metaverse interoperability. Right. We want to see them in different metaverses, and we want to see them in the top metaverses as well. So doing our research, I always knew that XRP had, that interoperable possibility, right? It's almost like, at least for tokens and coins, just a very great way to be able to just, transfer different assets through the XRPL, which was, something that I was reading about years ago. So we started looking into XRP, and then we found the xSpectar metaverse as well, which they were very much in line with everything that we were building, and they saw the metaverse like we saw it. They said, you know what, metaverse is not just going to show up overnight and everybody's going to jump on it and it's going to be amazing and there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people within the metaverse. They saw it like we did. It's a migration of Web 2 into a 3D internet, where you're taking existing businesses and you're bridging them over into virtual reality, augmented reality, and just pretty much you're creating a 3D website. And slowly the metaverse will evolve in that way. So we knew, we were very in line with everything that they were building. I mean, it was kind of scary how much we had in common. And I mean, everything just kind of fell into place. Like, Marina City, for example, was like the first place that they were going to be opening up. And of course, we have yachts and we need a place to store them, and what better than a Marina City? It was just too perfect. And we've been working with them very closely. And we're just they actually just opened our headquarters in their metaverse yesterday, which is pretty cool. I haven't even been able to jump in there yet because I've been traveling. But we're super excited about that, and we have a lot of other things working, that are coming in the future with them. So we're just very excited.
Awesome. Now I'm trying not to destroy your flow because you're really coming across very well. So I'm trying not to interrupt your flow. But my question would be, how have you found the difference between Ethereum chain and XRPL and building stuff on? Have you found it easier to build on the XRPL?
Well, I think so. I think, well, we haven't really built anything on Ethereum just yet. We do have a future collection coming out on L3, which is on ApeChain, because we do want to integrate ourselves into the other side metaverse. We have some really good plans with, how we want to be seen over there and what kind of games and things we want to incorporate with the yachts. So really, it's our first, real collection of 1,000 yachts over on XRP, and it was pretty seamless. We worked with bids to get that accomplished. XRP Cafe, we reached out to them, but we just figured that it was going to be a much easier process using bids. And I feel it was great. I think they have more volume. XRP Cafe has a little bit more volume, but bids, they were very helpful, and they were excellent. And being able to build on top of XRP has been, pretty seamless, honestly. And again, I know things are now starting to be built on XRP. There's a lot more developers jumping over now, because XRP was hampered by the SEC and all that bullshit that was going on a few years ago. So I think there's a lot more devs coming over, and there's building a lot of cool new stuff, and we're really excited. Think the token Think that's coming out from I forgot the name, Astro something. with what Fluff World uses. Fluff World has this kind of like Ethereum XRP integration and interoperability that's coming over with the new AI agent using Think, and that's very interesting as well. So we're looking into that. So we're excited for what's coming on XRP, and it's just awesome.
Hello, Bmeta Yacht Club. Good to have you on. I did hear from someone who's actually in the audience, actually. You was looking at the capability on the XRPL to mint your yachts in a specific file type, which were then interoperable with other metaverses, which probably relates to everything you just described on the introduction. And I was told to ensure or to pass on, that's actually an upgrade relating to the file type you're talking about. We have on a platform coming next. We recently, I don't know if you're aware of this, we recently partnered with xSpectar just after Christmas, mainly because of this upgrade we have coming in for projects such as yourself.
I was telling you about the file types, Dan. This is all about the file types.
The file type is very important, Wes, because for those that don't know, the file type that Bmeta is actually talking about, it's not just a 3D file. Obviously a 3D file is very important, especially for 3D environments, but the FBX file is also very important for AR technology as well, augmented reality, and that is a component, if you like, additionally to creating them as NFTs. So we have a platform with that coming, and I've got a team member, Artie. She isn't here tonight. She's on a different time zone, but she's going to be contacting you just to see if there's any way we can assist with you. If you want to use it, you obviously don't have to use it, but when we've got it online, we'll give you some assets to trial it and play around. There was a question I did want to ask though. What's the file size you've got currently average on the yachts that you have?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What's the rough file size? How much memory is the file? How much MB is it?
About 3 to 10, and they vary quite a bit, and we've been working very hard on getting the MBs down. And that's another
we can
thing
deal with this.
Yeah, we did. We had an AVA program. We had an AVA NFT, which was 125 megabits. We made 1,147 of them. I might have that number wrong. Actually, it was something like that. But we made a lot of them. Yeah, but I know with your yachts, I've seen them. They look fantastic. I've put the post and the jumbotron above for anyone who hasn't seen it, so you can have a look at these 3D yachts, and they look fantastic. They look really, really great. Yeah, so the average file size, you say you got it down to 5. Was it 5 or 15?
In between 3 to 10.
That's not bad. That's pretty. How much reduction does that have on quality?
Yeah, that's the thing, it's hard to balance between the two, right? And then also, because you're going to integrate them into the metaverse, so there's, the file sizes, everything else inside that metaverse has to be, kind of cut down as well. So everyone wants photorealism and whatnot, but you got to find that balance within, the photorealism and the file size. So it's been a challenge, and we're working on that every day. We're always working on getting these file sizes down. So, and it's a challenge because, with xSpectar as well, they have a certain limit, that we're able to input. So, it's been rough, but we're definitely working on it, and like every day somebody comes up with something new that can make that a possibility. So I'm definitely going to look into what you guys are working with, so maybe we can do something together.
Yeah, normally the handle would be on the show, so I could point at him and say, "Oh, it's Fuzion." But the guy who would be on the handle tonight is at a party, so he's out having a good time. So I can't point you to their socials. But I would like to, if you please, I would be interested in assisting you with test files for when we're doing testing, to see it. And I mean your higher end ones as well, but relatable to, XSpectar, how high you're willing to go. I'd be happy to do some testing with you, because having them as NFTs, it's fantastic that you've got a sort of business model that is so intertwined with the metaverse. You're one of the first real ones I think we've come across where it's like you're looking for that opportunity to integrate into different 3D environments, because the file type you're after on this network, I know exactly what you want to achieve. You want to be able to put that your boats in any 3D environment depending on if that person owns it. And when you've got that capability, it's incredibly powerful, because the second another 3D game comes on, that has anything to do with, the ocean, where you could actually pull these yachts in to use them, that would be a capability. There's probably platforms that aren't even around today that will be online in a few years that these yachts will be able to be incorporated with, as an NFT with the FBX file type. So yeah, I see exactly where you're coming from. So if there's some way that we can assist going forward, and support what you're doing, I'm all for it, because I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, most definitely. We're definitely gonna connect and see what we can do do together. Because the metaverse is going to be built by a team. It's not going to be built by just one project.
Absolutely. What's the I don't know too much about the pug and the gorilla. What's the story? The cool characters, the pug and the gorilla.
Okay, cool. So the way we do business, and we've been working on our project, is kind of the way crypto flows. We go with the flow of things. We have our white paper, and we have a lot of things that we're working on and we're developing. But some of the plans have just got to be squashed, and you just got to move in a different direction from one day to the next. Crypto is wild like that. So the BPUG. It was just BPUG has always been part of Bmeta. It's he's been our mascot. So we created a skin on our yacht, in our yacht collection, that is a pug, and a bunch of the yachts have the BPUG skin on it. And we were just working and brainstorming one day, and we were like, what, like our next move should definitely be a pug. We need to have our companion. The captains, they need a companion, and the whole companion thing has actually now taken a crazy turn with the whole AI agents. Like I'm saying, crypto's crazy and thing pops up. So we created a token. We created a 3D NFT companion. He's going to be avatar / companion. We're going to be integrating AI with him as well, so you can talk to him, ask him questions, have him do tricks, just a bunch of really cool stuff. And then the token came with it as well. So we airdropped the BPUG token to all our yacht holders, as a reward for just being such an awesome community. I mean, this community, I don't want to say it just because it's our project and our community, but it's amazing. They are just awesome, super positive. The XRP communities are just awesome. I just got to say it that way. They're a different just model of community. They're great. And so we airdropped them for being, loyal holders. And they went through all the rough times that we went through. It was really, really slow. There was very little volume in the XRP ledger. That's kind of changing with all the hype and all the positive news. But they got airdropped, and they're still holding. They have it locked up in their liquidity pool. They're earning rewards on Tipper. They're also earning liquidity pool rewards on Tipper as well. So they're going to be making some good money, because our marketing campaign really hasn't started yet, and we're going to launch that real soon. And it's just I really want to reward the community for just being the community. Like for me, it's all about the community, and it's all about being able to bring value to them. If it's through a token or through some alpha, we got to do our best to just provide that value. Also with the utility of the yachts, being able to do everything that we want to be enabled within those yachts and within the metaverse, it really just we're working on a huge project. We really want to be able to bring all that. We want them to be able to invite people over onto their digital asset, and be like, hey, let's have a game of poker. Let's get the boys together and put our AR VR goggles on and just play poker in my yacht, or let's sit in the couch and watch Netflix in the yacht. We want to provide streaming services. We want to provide a lot of different things, and it's a huge task, but we definitely think we got a good roadmap of how to make it, how to achieve it. And we're working on it, and we're working on it pretty damn hard.
I have a question for you. I know on your yachts, y'all have already pretty much minted out, and everything is all the yachts are on secondary market. Are you planning on making more yachts to minting more yachts?
I'll answer your question, Liffrey. So right now we don't have any plans on making any more yachts on the XRP ledger. I know there's only 1,000, but that's it's almost going to be like the XRP OG collection. We want to just maintain as much value as possible for that collection, especially with the NFT bull run that is, scheduled to happen, or, predicted to happen any day now, or any month now, I would say. But the value is what's most important for, me to bring to the community. And if I launch a 9,000 collection right now of 9,000 more yachts, which I can do, then that would definitely dilute the value of what they're all holding. So that's something I definitely got to be very careful about. And I don't have any plans, to be honest with you. As a matter of fact, my plan is to see these 1,000 yachts break, last NFT season's record of, I think it was almost over $500,000 of a yacht sale that happened on Decentraland. And we want to see these yachts go for, $10,000-$20,000 each. Like, that's what I would love to see, and just bring that kind of value to my community. That would be like so amazing.
Wow, I mean that's a pretty good hike, because right now I'm looking at the bids website, and you got some real nice looking ones for sale for about 100 XRP, and you have some, actually probably about 60 is where the real nice ones start. So yeah, that's a very nice return on your investment on that.
Well, I mean, we've had some really nice sales during the bear market. Like when the collection was only like 30% sold out, we had some, over 1,000 XRP sales. Mind you, XRP was at 40, 50 cents, but still, it's there were some really nice sales, and there's some amazing yachts out there. I mean, some of the most rare yachts are going to fetch a really nice price, and crypto's wild like that. Like, who knew that monkeys were going to be selling for over millions of dollars? So I put a pretty good bet on the fact that these yachts are going to sell for high up there.
Are they utilized? In what way are they utilized? Like, do they come with things that can help you do things in the real world? Do they come with benefits, things of this nature?
Well, utility, really, we're going to incorporate as much utility to each yacht as possible. So right now, with our metaverse, they're going to be pretty much like the buildings, right? So you're going to be able to open up a business within your website as well. You can connect your Web2 business over to the yachts. You're going to be able to play games, all kinds of different games. It's going to be a social environment. Hanging out on Twitter or hanging out on Discord, why not do it on one of the yachts? That's our plan. Streaming services as well. So we do plan on getting, movies to to watch movies on the yachts. Also, ordering food, being able to walk into your yacht using, MetaQuest or, any kind of AR, VR technology. So again, we're always finding new things, we're always trying to make it better. So little by little, we're the utility for sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. So I don't own a yacht yet, and I wanted to ask: do any of them have a helipad? And are you looking at doing any helicopters with these yachts?
Oh, don't stop there. Why don't you ask about tanks or some mortars and big guns?
Well, I don't know. I ask about the helicopters. I thought, so if I'm moving around in a yacht in the metaverse, I'm probably going to go. Do you know what? I'm going to fly to the top of that building, and then I'm just going to jump off it, just for fun. So, and I wasn't sure if any had a helipad yet, because if I can get one with a helipad, then I'll build the helicopter. So now I've got a yacht and a helicopter. But
yeah. So we do have a team that has a helicopter landing. We also have some of the other yachts that don't have helicopter pads yet. But if you look at one of our most recent environments, that is going to be the next one that goes onto the XSpectar Metaverse. That one, we integrated a helicopter pad on it. We put bazookas, rocket launchers, machine guns. We made it the military package.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen that one recently. Yes, it's got cannons on the front as well. I've seen it. Yeah. It looked really good, actually.
So how does that work? Do you take? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
Okay. So how does that work? So I actually do have a yacht. I bought it a while back, and I am getting the BPUG token from Tipper. So thanks a lot on that. Is it like I can go ahead and take it somewhere in the XSpectarverse and have it remodeled to add additional stuff at a certain price, or how does that work? How do I add a helicopter pad, or how do I add machine guns or whatever?
Right. So, for example, the ER-155, that's the yacht that we did the military package on. Right. That yacht is also going to have a business package. It's also going to have. Eventually, we're going to get it to the point where you can customize your packages as well, and customize the yacht to however you want it. So it's definitely a work in progress. Little by little, we're trying to get these packages out there, and we're kind of just showing them off right now of what's capable. Yacht is going to be able to have packages. These yachts, there's about 10 to 11, 12 different yachts, and they're going to have all kinds of different models, but some are larger than others, so they're not going to have the same capabilities. Some of the smaller yachts, we're looking to get them as maybe like fishing vessels and things like that, so they won't be able to cater a movie theater like the Adamantine would, or it won't be able to have a helicopter as well. But we're definitely going to find ways to make those smaller yachts as well, and integrate them into games, maybe some racing games and things of that nature. Which is kind of how the military package showed up as well.
Maybe you could catch fish when you had a small boat, and that would increase your proportion. In order to get.
Well, there's another metaverse. Yeah, there's another metaverse out there that's they're building a fishing game, and we're in talks with them to maybe do some kind of tuna fishing game, which I think a lot of people would enjoy.
I would definitely enjoy.
It's on XRPL.
Yep.
Sorry, am I lagging?
No, you're good. I
think you're kind of cutting out a little bit and lagging just a little bit. And I see Crypto Palace came back on board. Maybe,
you haven't been able to hear Palace live free the whole time.
Holy crap! Okay,
he was just jumping all over me.
Well, that's my excuse for cutting them off.
Yeah, I like the way that things can evolve with these yachts. It's quite interesting. But can I just pull you back? Talk to me like I'm a complete newbie. Where do I go to get your yacht? How much do I have to pay to get a yacht? What can I do with my yacht? Talk to me about those sort of parameters.
All right, so you're a total noob. I'm gonna, direct you to my link tree, and I'm gonna tell you pretty much all the links of everything that you need to find are in there, from the Git book to the BPUG token to the collection on bids, and you'll be able to purchase a yacht over on bids or an XRP cafe, and there's different prices. As a matter of fact, I think there's some really amazing deals right now, and some people are getting away with murder, if you ask me. But so there's some really good deals right now on the yacht. So there's different shapes, there's different sizes. and you could just choose the one that you like. Learn as much as you can from our Git book as well to see what is possible and what we're working on, and check out our website as well. It has a lot of really good information, and brush up on the xSpectar Metaverse, because that's really where we're building the most, and from there we're also next up is going to be other side, and then pretty much any other metaverse that really is along the same lines of thinking as we are. If they're headed in the right direction, and they're not looking to compete with other metaverses, but kind of build with other metaverses, I think that's what we're looking for.
So when XRP gets to 589, I think a lot of people are going to be looking for yachts. So I think you're onto something.
You crazy, man. You crazy.
Dan, you got your hand up. Fire away, my friend.
Yeah, I was just going to elaborate for anyone who hasn't actually seen them. So there's some good footage actually out there of inside the yachts as well. So it's not just how amazing they look on the outside, but there's some where you can actually, when you go inside, they have like a bar area. I see one with a dance floor with a little bit of a, let's just say, naughty dance area. There's an area where you could sit down and there'd be like a TV area. And the detail's fantastic. Like the detail inside, it's exquisite. They look really, really good. So if anyone hasn't seen them before, head over to on their link tree and have a look at some of the footage they've got. Because it's no joke, the detail on there is absolutely outstanding.
Thank you so much. Love to hear that.
Do you have any partnerships with any sort of real world companies? I say real world companies, so I don't mean that disrespectfully, but do you, like building yacht companies that actually build proper, real live yachts, as it were. Do you have any sort of, any partnerships with any companies that you might be able to onboard in that respect?
Yeah, I mean, we would like to be able to make more connections with other yacht designers and other companies as well. I mean, I had the far-fetched idea that it would be cool if the yacht holders would be able to maybe find a buyer for one of these in real life yachts, because some of these yachts are floating around in the ocean. So imagine if all of a sudden you show up to a yacht broker and you're like, hey, how about you give me a 1% finder's fee for you not having to do anything? I got somebody who's going to pay $5 million for this yacht. Like, how amazing would that be, right? So I had that idea a while back, but it's just very it's such a tight niche, hard to get into kind of world, the yachting world, that it's possible, but it's not something I can integrate into the project and be like, all right, guys, you guys own yachts, and if you guys want to make a 1% fee, I can't do that. So it's too niche. It's too hard to get into. It's the rich players club. Maybe when XRP hits 589, maybe I'll be in that club.
I have experienced this niche parameter before, and I think the main thing that I realized when you are involved in this niche parameter and this niche click, that you have to forget about these clicks, and you just have to go balls deep, if you don't mind my saying so, but you have to just go balls deep. You really do, and you have to just not give a toss. You have to do it right, and go for it, because these hard niche places are the places that you will absolutely make your living. And I wish you the best of luck, my friend.
Thank you so much.
I mean, straight away, when you described your project, if I was a boat manufacturer or a boat dealer, or if I constructed real live yachts, it's seeing your project. You could actually design and build your yacht in that metaverse, and actually you'll be promoting it, you'll be selling it, you'll be marketing your real live project, your real live your products.
Well, Palace. This is what I was saying. Like, I scaffold for a living, and I could actually do a live scaffold for your boat, and we could build your boat. I could do it. We could do it together. Absolutely. and we could showcase this. You never know.
I'd love to build a boat with you, Wes. I don't think it'll go very far.
It might not float, son.
Well, it won't float because of all those bottles of liquor y'all be hauling.
What are you trying to
Rum.
say, Liz?
If we carry rum on a boat, sir. That's what we carry.
Yeah. If anyone,
I'm a bloody pirate. I am a pirate.
if anyone would like to join in this space, please put your hand up politely and ask, rather than jumping all over the person who's speaking. If you'd like to comment and write some things that you'd like to read us to read out, we'll be happy to do so.
I think there's just hold you there, Palace, because when we've launched this on default, and for some reason we can't seem to drop messages on there. And I know Amanda brought it up last week, and I forgot to do the check. I don't know. I think it's a default setting changed on an update, so I'll have a look at it. So no, actually, no one can comment. So I was trying to find a post from Bmeta Yachts to see if they've got a link to all their sales, so I can put it in the jumbotron.
Okay, well, what we'll have to do then is, if you want a comment, you'll have to DM Live Free, who likes jumping all over the person who's speaking anyway, so he's got lots of comments.
Oh, you deserve it. Come on.
I think it's fair play to Dan for mastering the jumbotron, though, because this was the hardest thing that we've ever had to bloody face.
Anyway, I think Dan's got a question, because he's got his hand up politely.
Yeah, well, first thing, Wes, you've got a funny choice of words when you're explaining something, right? Balls deep. I wanted to ask Bmeta. So, the variations of yacht that you have now, are they like duplicates of real-time yachts, or are these designed by yourselves?
No, these are actually duplicates of some that are, floating around, and some are not. Some are just designs that, just didn't, haven't been sold yet. You can kind of say so, because when you buy a yacht, not a lot of yachts are actually already pre-made. You kind of gotta have them built. So some of these are just still waiting to get built, and I think that's pretty cool.
Got it. And I wanted to say as well, because I know there's a protocol coming on the XRPL which you'll find highly beneficial. And I know for me personally, I probably wouldn't spend $20,000 on a yacht in the metaverse. But I tell you what, I would spend on. I would rent a very expensive one, and that capability I think is coming in this year, where you can rent NFTs. So have you made any consideration to create sort of a one-time VIP Uber super yacht that people could maybe show off for a day, where different communities could rent it out to be like, yeah, we've got the boat today. And is that something you thought of in the future, where you'd be renting somewhere they wouldn't be for sale?
Most definitely, yeah. Especially with having, only 1,000 yachts, you're definitely going to have some kind of renting service, and the holders are pretty much the ones who are going to make, profits doing that. So when Metaverse starts to kick off, and we start getting some people in there, and people want to start trying yachts, and to me, it's very similar to like playing Grand Theft Auto. The Grand Theft Auto, like the yachts are just out there. There's like maybe like 2 or 3, maybe 4 yachts out there, and imagine a metaverse where these yachts are not just sitting there and you could just walk around them and turn the radio on. Imagine you can do so much more with them, and that's what I mean. Like, these yachts are going to be so valuable when the time comes, and being able to rent them, and being able to customize them, and you can be like, wow, this is going to be like the ultimate yacht out there. I'm going to create the most badass one with the most utility, and then I'm going to rent it out. Like, people have those dreams, and in almost all metaverses, in every single community, people want to rent their their real estate. They want to rent, they want to sell their plots. They want to make profit off of what they invested in. And I think being able to rent them and Uber them and things like that, that's going to be huge.
Oh, massive. And I was just thinking about it then. Probably there'd be people who own yachts now. They'll probably rent theirs out in the metaverse. I could imagine, like, like Wes over here to the side of me, he'd pay out to have a super hot yacht, just for the day, probably sitting on there on his own with a metaverse cocktail, and then there's me standing on the beach looking at him like, what the hell's going on? But no, yeah, it's good business. It's good digital business. I think Grand Theft Auto are actually talking about going down that way on their new GTA, but I don't think it's going to be as sort of blockchain agnostic as what xSpectar is now. I think xSpectar's got a bigger book to play with stuff that comes in for business with NFTs. I think they definitely have they might not have the like what GTA has. They've got years of experience in building their game, and the graphics are extraordinary, but in time, especially with all the stuff we're doing with NFTs, I would say xSpectar is definitely potentially one to be like that in the future, especially with VR editions and stuff like that. And that's good for such as your business as well. So no, really good.
Right.
It's a really good idea, and yeah, I look forward to seeing what you come out with in the future, and definitely be looking at some yachts.
Yeah, that's why I like xSpectar's Metaverse, because it's not really going to be a competition for, let's say, if GTA does do something and it enters the Metaverse world and creates their own token and their own economy and stuff. Because from xSpectar you'll be able to link, GTA will be able to a business, or maybe you have a business within GTA that you can advertise over on xSpectar, right? It's almost like a link from one metaverse to the other metaverse, very multiverse-esque, and that's really what I like about xSpectar's Metaverse. It's more of of the evolution from Web 2 to Web 3. So not everyone's going to want to be in GTA, a lot of gamers are going to, a lot of Jeets and a lot of degens are going to be in there for it. But, I think a more serious Metaverse play for business will definitely be somewhere else. And of course, they'll be able to, to kind of feed off of each other, I think.
Bmeta Yachts, what's the roadmap look like for the next year or so? What's on the horizon for the project?
The next NFT collection on ApeChain, also the NFT collection for the Pug. So that one's going to be coming up pretty soon. We're working on the skins right now. It's a lot of fun. And pretty much the marketing of the token, we want to crank that up as high as possible, and just continue work with xSpectar and development over on other side. I mean, what we're doing with our yachts is also the packages, right? So I put the XRP Predator package up on the board, and we're going to do different packages, all those different packages on all those different yachts. And that's also going to be powered with the BPUG token. So the BPUG, it's a meme token. Yeah, sure. We created it over on the XRP ledger, but minting of the BPUG is going to be, of the BPUG NFT is going to be with BPUG token. Also upgrades for the yachts and for the Pug, different traits, game game add-ons and things like that. They're going to be possible with the BPUG token. So it's going to become very deflationary as well. We're looking to at least burn 10% of the supply just with the BPUG NFT, and then little by little, as as time progresses and as the project gets larger and larger, and we have other collections coming out. If you're buying your BPUG tokens now, by the time the value of that token goes higher, you're going to be getting things that are, real nice discount. So, get your BPUGs early. That's all I got to say about that.
Absolutely.
That's nice as well.
We've got Optimistic. Amanda, if you'd like to open your mic and ask.
Hello?
Hey, my boys are screaming and yelling at each other.
Hello, are you okay?
Yeah, hey, I actually, I forget your name. What's your name? Bmeta?
I'm Chef Oceans. Chef Oceans. Just call me
Chef
Oceans.
Oceans. Okay. Oceans. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I met him on Stone Space the other day, and so I was like, I immediately wrote him because obviously my mind's going a million miles a second, because you all know that I want to create a game that's like for the smaller people, not the yacht people, but the tiny home people. And so obviously all the technology you guys are talking about is all like correlated to the same thing, right? So I was actually asking him about some of the things you guys have been talking about, like the modifications, and, could you potentially have one that you get the blueprints for, exactly what you guys were just talking about, that you could build in real life? And could that be translated over to such things as tiny homes and buses and vans? And, can you buy, because eventually in my idea is that you could, put a lamp in the corner, and the lamp is actually a real lamp in real life. And so while you guys have been talking, I was like, wouldn't it be crazy if you were buying a yacht and you actually could go for a tour in the yacht on the Metaverse? You could go for a fishing trip. You could see how it was. You could deck it out with all the different things, that you want, lamps and books and pictures and everything like that. And all of these things could be actually linked to real assets in real life. And so all of a sudden, once you have, enough money to actually create the thing in real life, you've already mapped it out in the Metaverse, thus allowing for like this huge cross-pollination between, the average person making furniture, to the people painting art, to the people actually building these boats out. So I'm just like sitting here with like, hey guys, I can't wait for the future.
Yeah, it's almost like tokenizing everything, isn't it? Everything.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes, yeah, like everything can actually be tokenized and valuated and quantified and qualified, and we can put a token on that, and perhaps we can help benefit each other in society if we do that. Like we was trying to talk about last time, I think we had a conversation, and people were talking about who is more useful, what is more useful. I think a bin man is as useful as a brain surgeon within society. I absolutely think that. And so when you tokenize these things, then things can become fairer, perhaps, and things can become more useful.
Well, and I think what I'm hearing though is that, while you guys are talking about, are these boats real boats in real life, and they obviously have real blueprints. If they're not boats yet, all of a sudden it creates a whole new thing where, if this boat is on the other side of the world and you want to see if you actually would like it, you could do a tour of the boat in the Metaverse, or you could maybe buy. And maybe it's a dream down the road. You could buy a portion. Like, I don't know, how's that going to, like, that's another question. In terms of like splitting up the ownership of an NFT. Like, imagine eventually one of these was completely tied to the actual yacht itself, where somebody could, is that something that could happen in the future, where the value of the NFT could be split? Like, imagine the person who has the NFT ends up buying the actual boat. So now they have the NFT and the boat. Could they eventually sell portions of the NFT? Like almost like a timeshare?
You're talking about fractionalizing an NFT where you would have one NFT, let's say, in this example, it's a yacht, but it's been fractionalized into 100 pieces. So you've actually got 100 people that actually own a portion of it, but then, they can still use it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, I think there's an XLS protocol for that coming. I know you can do it on Ethereum, and I think Binance off the top of my head, but it's definitely something that's coming on the XRPL. I'm sure I've seen it on the XLS protocols, fractionalizing NFTs, which which is for some NFTs required, especially for like exquisite, expensive artworks. No one wants to own just the one. You want to own a piece of it. But yeah, you're on about joint value. Fractionalizing would be completely possible in the future. Yeah, and 1 second, sorry, bud. And with what you were saying about the, how far does this go in terms of owning a yacht? Right. Where can you really go? The thing is, we're at a level of technology now that we only understand because it's right in front of us. We don't really understand what the next kind of game finance platform is that's coming out. But see, as NFTs, as these yachts as NFTs, when you go into a 3D ecosystem in the future, let's just say, a metaverse platform maybe, or let's just say it's an actual video game that you can pull NFTs in, like a zombie game or something, and you're on an island. You might be like, oh, I need to call up Wesley. He's got the NFT for a yacht and we need to get out of here right now. We could go into somewhere like that because
this is what I was wondering, Dan.
So it's not just you moving around in the metaverse. If you've got someone who's creating 3D environments as mini games and you can use these NFTs in them, with a tailored bit of interaction, there's many use cases that could come. So the more 3D environments that exist, especially in the years to come, anyone who's building 3D objects that they operate in, going back to the exact file Bmeta was just talking about, his NFTs will have a use case forever. As long as there's new games coming out, and as new 3D ecosystems evolve and get better, all these NFTs will still run on it. They're not tailored to one ecosystem. As an NFT, they can run in any 3D environment. You literally just pull the file, whoever owns the NFT. So that's how good it is as well as a use case. We don't understand where it could go in the future because there is no limit. And that is absolutely true. There is no limit to where it could go. As long as
this is what I was wondering.
Yeah,
like this game. I've often played on a game, World of Warships, and it's a warship game. You battle in the likes of the Tirpitz or the Bismarck or things of this nature, and you're playing on. It's a 3D ship that you've got, and you can buy new ships. You can upgrade it. You can transfer it as well to different worlds. And I was wondering if this is the prospects of the gaming side of the NFTs, where you could transfer these almost characters. These are like very similar to the yacht club that you're producing now. You could produce actually warships with turrets on, with torpedo bays, with 40mm caliber launchers on there.
Basically, you just went for a more advanced game of battleships.
Absolutely. So this is what I'm after.
So, Oceans, you were talking about it earlier. By the way, it's so funny because I contacted Oceans right after Stone Space, and I was like, "You need to know the Fuzion group." And then I was talking to Dan. He's like, "Oh yeah, we're interviewing him on Sunday." I said, "What?" That's so ironic. So that's why I'm like, "Okay, I have to be here." I set my alarm and everything. But I'm curious. You were sort of talking about it, and maybe my kids are being loud, and I didn't hear your answer. But I know you were talking about.
What time are you on, Amy?
Pardon me?
I'm so sorry to interrupt. What time are you on there, please?
Oh, right now it's only 1 p.m.
Okay, it is 8. Hold on. No, it's 9 p.m. now in England.
Yeah. I set my alarm for 11 just so that I wouldn't miss it. And then I was like, oh, damn, it's another hour. Okay, I have lots to do. I have so many things to do right now. I'm minting a whole bunch of NFTs today, and a bunch of stuff is happening. But anyways, my question was, you were talking, so in relation to what Wesley was just saying about, this game, and then Oceans, you were talking about one of your yachts has army battalion stuff. Is upgrading, is this something that could happen in the future? How would that work in terms of being able to upgrade your yacht to, you guys were talking about helipads at one point? Is this something that's possible where you could add things on, or is this once the NFT is made, that's all it is, you can't change it around?
No, you can check the post above, and it has the military yacht that I was talking about, the package. And we're going to be doing packages right now, so you'll be able to upgrade your yachts to different packages to whatever use case that you really want to use it for. And eventually, it's going to get to the point where you're going to be able to customize, the interiors, to exactly how you want to do it. Another thing that you were touching on was, being able to maybe say put a lamp that you want to attach a link to and be able to sell it. Something that we wanted to do, but we haven't been able to do it yet because there's so many things we want to do with these yachts, but we got to create some kind of an order to do it, which was to integrate, designers, like fashion designers who create furniture and could create packages for these yachts, and they can sell them as well and make a profit as an NFT. Also, bringing more, marketing for their own brand at the same time. So, it's just so many things that we want to do that we definitely got to organize ourselves. And since we're working with another metaverse, we have to, go at, at their pace and work with them. So, we can work as fast as possible to achieve what we're trying to achieve together. But yeah, I mean, again, the imagination just goes wild when it comes to these yachts, and there's so many possibilities. We just got to, figure out the best way to do it and the fastest way possible without, sacrificing quality.
Early on, I made a post about those yachts to where I figured out it's a lot cheaper to buy a yacht and retrofit it to where you can actually just make it out as a condo than it is to actually buy a condo on the one of these condos at the xSpectarverse.
And that's why people live on boats in real life too.
Yes, very good.
So, Oceans, we normally have a question that we ask. So this is a hint to Wesley to start looking for the question.
Oh, shit. What the hell?
That was like 2 weeks away. Was it 3 weeks away?
It was.
Wasn't it me?
Yeah, it was. Yes, I think it was. Wait, 1 minute, I'll tell you.
So Wesley is looking for the first question.
Yes, it was.
Normally ask. Yeah, Oceans, you need to also think of a question that you will ask for the next project. And it can be any question, whether it's crypto related, philosophical question, or whatever floats your boat, whatever floats your yacht, And one more question is, can you retrofit a 230 sport yacht to land a helicopter on it? Is it big enough?
Have you got a Honda?
No, I got a 230.
Nice.
Yeah, we can make a lot happen, and there's no real limitations, physical limitations in the metaverse. So we can make anything happen. Maybe shrink the helicopter a little bit, or maybe make it a drone that you can fly. It's something cool. We can always do something. We got a bunch of really crazy ideas, and we want to get jet skis in there and a bunch of other things. So there's so much that we need to do.
Could you by chance transfer chickens anywhere?
I'm sorry.
He won't get it, Wes. He will not get it. The answer is yes. And furthermore, live free. I know what you're doing. You want to get a yacht with a helicopter before I do. Right?
What was that?
Right, I'm watching you very carefully. You've already beat me on the gold check mark. Right, I take my hat off to you. You will not beat me to a yacht with a helicopter.
You know what, Daniel? I've actually posted before that I wanted a helicopter on my yacht. So I beat you to that question a while back already. So if you research,
you do it, live free. He's going to do it.
I'll let you off this one then. I'll let you off this one.
But I do have the question here. If you are.
Before you ask the question, can I ask a question? I just want to say one more thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just what you were just talking about. Is there a way to, or maybe can I plant this seed, because this is what I really want? So not only is items and the yachts and things like the machines, as well as the furniture and the decor and all of this connected eventually to like real world things, but the blueprints. So two things. One, that there's a way that somebody could actually go and buy the blueprints for any some of these things, whether it's furniture or the actual yacht or whatever. And the second thing was if somebody, because I'm thinking about old people. I'm thinking about people who sit in their rooms all day long, don't do anything, but they lived on a boat. Is there a route that you're planning where somebody could bring like their blueprints of their old boat or something, where you could actually make them personally for people who have boats, or something like that, where they're actually tokenizing their own? Like, are you going to create an avenue where people can actually come to you to get their personal boat tokenized as an NFT?
I see where you're going with it now, man. I know what you mean. Yes, you're on about actual real-time yachts token, and then in the metaverse. But
I'm looking at my dad.
The real yacht. Yeah, I got you.
So my dad lives on this tiny little boat. You know, he's lived on it for 40 years. Or 20, and he wants to die on that boat. Well, there's probably a good chance he's not going to be able to die on the damn boat. But like, if he's like, you know, still around, and I could give him some VR headset, and he could hang out on his real boat, when he's like, you know, in his 90s and drooling, like, you know, that would be a pretty sweet gift.
Hold on. So you are trying to supplement reality with this VR NFT?
Hang on, there's actually statistics that back this up. So what Amanda's talking about. So the elderly recently, over the past few years, have been more involved in VR. In fact, they found that there's cognitive positives to it on brain function and physical function, because some people in a wheelchair can't move around. There is the elderly. There is some statistics to this. They have been getting involved in stuff with the metaverse, and they've really enjoyed it. And it is a hell of a lot better than sitting there in front of the TV or staring at the wall or being stuck in a hospital. They're able to put on some VR goggles, go in a metaverse, and actually enjoy themselves and talk to other people. So what Amanda's suggesting, it's not actually just happening, but is actually a really good idea.
Is it real? Have you got any points of reference for this?
What do you mean, that the facts for it? I'll tell you. I'll have a look. I'll drop it to you on Telegram.
I'd be really, really interested in it, because when you've just said that, it does sound amazing, but I do not want to, the prospect of lying to somebody. In fact, reality.
You're not lying to them. What you're doing is you're inviting them into another layer of reality, the digital ecosystem. And they're able to meet, talk to people, run around without getting out of breath. And some people elderly can't even walk. So to put on a headset, be able to move around is fantastic for them. You just imagine being paralyzed in a wheelchair, right, from like the waist down, and then imagine the difference going into a metaverse ecosystem. And you're not alone. You can go around and talk to people.
That's the biggest thing.
Real positive.
Yeah, so my background is nursing and international development. So basically, this is like, my entire existence is how to make people happier. And, a lot of this data that they did with the elderly, is even just color. So they if you go to an MRI machine, they usually put like a thing on the ceiling now that's like a painting or like looks like a sky, because even just looking at those colors change, like green actually changes how you feel on the inside. So, obviously I hear your concerns, Wesley, and I have the exact same concerns, but I met my dad when I was 32. He lives 10 kilometers from here. He's a, Luddite. He lives on this boat, and I saw him for the first time in a year 2 weeks ago, and I said, my dream is to have enough money to buy land where I have a dock and you can park your boat there. I'm like, even if you don't ever want to talk to me, you don't have to talk to me. I'm like, I'll just bring you, your food and let you die on the boat. But I'm just sitting here thinking like, okay, should he not be able to walk down the hill to the boat anymore? Should he not be able to live that way? It would be really great if I could, as a gift, tokenize the boat he has right now, the Storm Princess. And then all of a sudden, there's like a nostalgic thing for these people as well, where, as they're aging out and they can't do the things that they want to do, that they actually can still. And like you said, it's the community, like the fact that you can go into the metaverse. Like when I think about the Blue Umbrella Treehouse in the metaverse, I think of like, the first thing is you stop in and there's, a bartender there, and you can either learn how to make drinks or you can just chat like you would going to a bar. And so that there's like actual interaction when, people are so isolated. And this is what I love about this community. Like, I've been looking forever. Who's my community? Who's my community? It's not tiny home people. It's not boat life people. It's not van life people. It's not RV life people. It's XRP people who want to know like what happens after all this, and so when I found Oceans, I was like, we have boat life people on our app. Boat life are the original tiny homes. And, these yachts are like bigger than condos, way bigger than my bus, but it's still the same premise. And ultimately, what I'm thinking, like real life in parallel with the metaverse, is that, they're talking about anti-gravity right now. They're talking about spaceships. They're talking about the technology that would allow us to move vehicles. I mean, drones. You see these videos. I saw something. It was like a movie or a video game where they literally had a bus that was flying, and I was like, James, we're gonna totally be able to put like drone shit on our bus one day and like fly around and go to all these homesteads now, drive it on the road. And so, for me, I'm just looking at this like, if you're going to also train people to do space travel, they do have to learn how to live tiny. And so a lot of these like cross-pollination things are a way to like get people to also wrap their head around, that actual living, and then obviously we're running into like Star Trek and the holodeck and all that cool shit. So I just wanted to like plant the seed, but also sort of ask a question around the ability, like where is the technology now? Oceans, like, could you, because you are obviously the forerunner right now in the boat people, that like, if somebody comes to me, because I live on an island, I live near the coast, there's lots of boat people. If I'm talking about the XRP and I'm talking about your company and they're like, oh man, I would love to get my boat tokenized. Is that a service that you could potentially provide?
We could do something like that, but this to me is a great idea. I love the idea, and I think a lot of people in the audience are taking notes and might want to build this because it's an excellent idea. To tokenize an asset, you don't really need all the blueprints and you don't really need all that stuff. We don't need to integrate it to that extreme. That's how to work that. So there's a lot of easier ways to make your vision come to life. And I think it's a great idea. I think it's an excellent idea. And I think you can make a lot of money with it. But I mean, we can do it. It's just going to cost me more than if somebody just created this project and just started doing, one by one to see if it actually works.
Dude, I hear you. Like, I have like 5-7 things that's like, we're talking 10 years down the road.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just planting seeds everywhere I go right now, hoping that like, we can all figure this out. Because you see, in my ideal world, people are creating tiny homes, buses, and boats in the metaverse. And then we're taking those ideas. Like right now we have a bus. It's empty. I have no idea how to build out three kids' beds, plus us, plus all of our shit. There are very few things out there where I could like, pick different beds and move them, have the right size of the bus, move them around inside the bus and figure out where I want to put everything and then build it out. And so I'm always imagining, that if there is a way of getting people who are sitting in their apartments on the metaverse to build these things out with all their different ideas and stuff, and then you're basically creating like a database for ideas. And then all of a sudden somebody could come in and be like, I have 3 kids. Yep. I need all the plans that have 3 beds, and then all the plans come up and then you could like move things around. And then all of a sudden you're taking people who don't necessarily like these yachts. They don't have them in real life, but if they're coming up with ideas to make them cooler and faster.
Hello, Dan. Are you talking?
Amanda's still going. You probably can't hear her. Yeah, you probably can't. Sorry. Carry on, Amanda.
Yeah, so I'm just like, for me, it's like a way to conglomerate people's thoughts and ideas. And like in my ideal world, what would happen is not only would you get rewarded with a token for building out a bus, and obviously, you'd use your tokens to buy the skin on the yacht or the boat or the tiny home or the bus, and you'd buy like a fraction of a token for the items inside and whatever. But when it comes down, if somebody were to take your blueprint and use it, it would become an affiliate link. So that basically it would like, I guess in a way it would be like when you're tokenizing and you put the royalty on. So there would be some kind of thing like that where the person who's, just sitting around in their house dreaming a big dream about the future is creating these ideas, and then people in real life are actually manifesting them into reality, that there is a portion that goes back to the original creator, thus creating like so many different outputs of money, you know, like all streams of income. You know, that's my dream, is that every person who's building right now ends up having 1,000 streams of income, so that they're so free to do whatever they want to, that they get to travel, you know, they get to dream big, and they actually get to explore life, and, you know, have like a cross-pollination. My dream's always been a cross-pollination between reality and the metaverse, where the metaverse allows you to dream, allows you to, you know, imagine what you could have, and then you actually manifest it in real life, you know, so that your life becomes full and you're not just stuck in the metaverse forever and ever. So,
and that's the beauty of the XRPL. There's some very clever people that are building things as we speak, and things are evolving, and this space is evolving. It's exciting. We, speaking of very clever people, we have xSpectar. xSpectar, if you like to unmic your mic and tell us all about yourself.
Well, guys, nice to meet you. First of all, I want to say sorry to Snowman Club, because it took years before we gave them a follow back. I want to say hi to our friends from Million Pixel Wall that we have been supporting from the very early stages, and they have been very supportive of us as well. I want to give a special thanks to Daniel, who has been a very good friend over the past few weeks, and of course one of our independent builders, Bmeta Yacht Guild, who is one of our lifelines, because we of course have been working on the foundational stuff of the metaverse. It has proven to be extremely challenging, extremely expensive, extremely time consuming as well, but I think that we have a very solid foundation on the XRP ledger, and combining that with people like Bmeta Yachts, who I admire a lot, that are doing their own thing and onboarding to our EDK lots of independent projects, people, developers, community members that all come up with those ideas, and providing them with the tools to actually build stuff. Well, that is what will make us successful. So we are definitely very keen on supporting everybody that works using our EDK, and the more successful they will be, the more successful we will be. So I think in the past 2.5, 3 years, we have led a very good foundation. There's still a lot of work to do, but I'm super happy with all of the excitement of the builders, you know, because those people are professionals. They know what they're doing. One of them, by the way, is the Way Teller. He's working on a fantastic thing as well, and he's a guy that has been working with Unreal Engine for years and years and years. And I remember that 8 months ago or something, we showed him the EDK, and we explained him how we intended to make progress and to actually provide tools. And he literally said, "Well, I've been waiting for this for the past 7 years." And again, I know that the task that we have taken up is pretty big. I've said it multiple times over the past few years. If we would have known what we got ourselves into, well, we probably wouldn't have done it, you know. But I'm very, very proud of where we are now. We're on a turning point with the whole ecosystem. I think it's time to show unity. I've been pretty critical about Ripple and XRP in particular over the past few years, and I still stand by my remarks. However, I do think that everybody that has been sticking around over the past years, building through very, very difficult conditions, because people absolutely underestimate what it takes to run a company and to lead this company and to get people paid and to actually deliver. Well, I am here, as I've always been, to support all of those builders in whatever form possible, and I expect nothing in return, and I hope we will get support as well. But yeah, I'm very proud. I'm very almost emotional as well. You know, we are responsible for over 15% of all NFT-related volume on the XRPL. I think that NFTs as containers of IP and the whole principle of stakeholder capitalism, where everybody participates in the network and every holder provides value and can also profit from that value of everybody that works together. I think that's crucial, and it's about time that people realize that, you know.
Thank you very much for coming up and speaking some very kind words and very thoughtful words. You're a project actually we want on our show. So can I get you to DM Live Free to organise a date to come on our show?
Oh, I'll ask him.
Come
God,
on,
I'll ask
come
him.
on.
DS,
You
I'll
ask him.
drop you. I'll ask him if he can come on and get a date. God.
Anyway, can we get back to our program? So, Wes, I believe you have a question that was given by the last project. Which is it? Fill us in.
Are you talking about the question that I wrote down from Optimistic Prime?
That's the one.
Wait, yes, I think I've got it here. Yeah, are you ready now?
Yeah, we're all ready. Are you ready?
Oh, right,
Only
okay,
you were waiting on.
Yeah, I'm definitely ready. So every week we have a project on most weeks, and they ask a question ready for the next project. We don't know who the next project is, and we don't know what the question will be. But here is the question now from the last project we had on. If you could paint heaven on earth right now, what would it look like? And this was from Optimistic Prime, who is in the audience right now. That's a deep question.
Bmeta Yachts, that's to you, my friend.
That's to you, my Mr. Yachts, yes.
He's still thinking.
Wait, that question was for me?
Question.
Yeah, that's
yes, it was, sir. That was the question from. Sorry, yes, I'll repeat it. So every project that we get on, they ask a question. So this was the question from the last project we had on, and it is directly for you. And this is the question. Okay, so if you could paint heaven on earth right now, what would it look like?
I wonder if it's going to be a big yacht.
All right, so
this might be a language barrier.
The question was kind of broken up. So I guess if I was to paint heaven on earth, what would it look like?
That is correct.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's breaking up pretty bad. Wow, that's a very deep question. Where did I get that question? Heaven on earth, what would it look like? Well, I mean, definitely my family would be in that painting. But yeah, definitely a nice yacht, and maybe spearfishing with my kids in the Florida Keys with our yacht. Yeah, that's would be heaven on earth for me.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, really. We're all trying to make life better for our families, aren't we? Bmeta Yachts, I need you to ask a question that we're going to put to the next project. You won't know who they are, but we already know who they are. It can be crypto related, it can be business related, whatever you like. Fire away.
All right, should it be a Metaverse question?
Yeah, go on, good. Let it be a Metaverse one.
Or anything.
They might not be on the Metaverse. We actually know who's on next week.
Can we just make sure Wes is ready?
Okay, so I guess my question would be regarding interoperability, crypto, the Metaverse, and NFTs. Like, who, how would you pioneer that, or what project do you think is already pioneering such a project?
Good question. Did you get that, Wes?
Okay.
No, he's still eating chicken.
Nope.
Wes?
Yep. Hello. Can you hear me?
Did you get the question? Because I know you're not going to listen to the recording.
I'm not going to listen to the recording. I've got Yacht Club and interoperability. How do you pioneer that? So
how could we pioneer all of it together? Because I think XRP is going to be in the foundation of it, but somebody's got to build it. Somebody's got to make it happen. And I see some projects that are might have the tools to at least get it started. But how is it all going to come together to where those
Yeah. How are you like gonna create that? What are you doing to be proactive or something?
Pretty much.
You can't put the question.
I can't, but I've got to interpret.
You write down the question that he gives you.
How are you going to create that?
So crypto, NFTs, interoperability.
Yeah. So, but are you going to come along next week, please? And we'll ask you a question, and hopefully you can be there because you can describe it a lot better than I can.
But basically, Ocean, he's wrote it down wrong, so he's hoping you'll be there to pick up the pieces for when he word salads.
That's fine. I'll definitely ask the question. If not, I'll send you the question. I'll reword it for you.
That would probably be the safe thing to do. Just go ahead and reward it and the message Wesley.
That would definitely be easier. But you take the fun out of it then, because it's a bloody laugh when I try and interpret this.
I mean, why did we pick Wes to do that?
I'm the worst person to pick, but
we should have got Live Free to do it. Live Free, reading, writing, very legible man, speaking, lipsy. But we picked Wes to do that bit.
Remember, we needed something comical in our skit, so that's why we picked Wes.
Yeah.
Well, better than his rapping.
I don't know. I like his initial rap.
We can do raps if you ever want to do a rap.
I think we only ever done it once, so we ain't going to do it again. Bmeta Yachts, is there anything we haven't asked you tonight that you feel you want to get across to the audience?
Actually, the questions, really good questions. I think we had a really good discussion. I think really it comes down to the future of Bmeta and the position to really be the catalyst for the growth of the project. We want that to be the token that is for your upgrades. It's going to be for mints. It's going to you want to get in early on this. I mean, I think it's really a hidden gem right now in the ecosystem, and our marketing is not the strongest right now, so it doesn't get the publicity it needs, but it will. We're going to be reinvesting as much capital as we can. We're getting it on different exchanges and things like that, and I think just the earlier that everything else is going to be if you're a yacht owner. So right now owning 1% of token with 100 billion supply and a 10% token burn, it's and then everything else that's going to come with it. Just the thing I want to get past is how important that token is going to be for this project moving forward.
And just to let you know, I'm not sure if you are aware that your token can actually be used on Fuzion to buy and sell the NFTs. Just to make sure you're aware of that.
Awesome. Yeah. Doing more research on you guys and reaching out with to Danso, and definitely want to make some more connections.
Absolutely, Bmeta, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Great to hear what you're doing with all the yachts, and being on xSpectar as well. Look forward to seeing where it all goes in the future, and I'll definitely reach out to you after this and have a conversation with you. But no, 100% support and really wish you all the best going forward.
Dan, you've got to reach out because
thank you.
It can use any other token as well to sell his NFT. So if any other people like your NFTs who have different tokens, who are involved in different projects, you can sell them in that token as well, which is a great thing.
Oh yeah, so what Wes is talking about is if the NFTs you have minted already on the XRPL, if you have them in a wallet, you can sell them in any currency on the XRPL, so you can interoperate with other communities, and you can take offers in any currency as well, as long as the only XRP flag is off, which usually by default it is, and obviously it's transferable, so it's not a soul-bound NFT. But if you wanted to use Fuzion for that, you could. Just so you're aware, your own token, or even sell your NFTs in another asset to combine with other communities.
That's very cool. I'm definitely going to look into that.
Awesome. So just to remind everybody in the audience that this space is recorded. If you want to listen to it again, you can go to our YouTube channel. You can go to our website. This is episode 52, brought to you by Fuzion XIO, the best place to get your NFTs, the powerhouse.
the only handle that didn't come on the show tonight as well.
Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us tonight. I hope you've had a blast. We certainly have. Please like, subscribe, share the spaces. Let's get involved and get the community involved. Take care and have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Godspeed, guys. Take care.